me show you what we got. So over here we have our all Moog components. We have our outer tie rods right here, and we have our inner tie rods right here. Now I did not rent the tool this time, so we're going to try to use a crescent wrench and see if we can do this. So I'm going to go ahead and get the car in here, and then we'll get started. All right, so I'm going to show you guys how you know if you have a bad ball joint or tie rod in. Check this out. That's bad. That's really bad. So this is going to be your tie rod right here. Side to side, up and down is going to be your ball joint. Or this also could be your wheel bearings. So if your wheel bearings are bad, really gone, then you can get some slack in there too. But this right here is pretty much all going to be ball joint. I think I actually forgot to order the ball joints. So for right now, we're not going to be able to do the ball joints, but that's not the huge issue. The huge issue right now is obviously tie rods. So we're going to go ahead and get those out. I've already replaced the other side. This is a very, very simple job. Now, inner and outer tie rods are a very simple job. Ball joints are a little different, so we're not going to get into that tonight. But as far as tie rods go, they're no issue. Anyway, first things first, let's go ahead and get this castle nut off. Now, guys, I want you to look at this. This thing was not even pulled in tight, so this is really bad. So definitely this needed to be replaced. We're not even going to have to hit this thing to release it. Look at that. It's not supposed to do that. So under normal circumstances, you're probably going to have to hit the hell out of this right here to get this to drop. So what you would do, just come in and hit it. It's going to take 4 or 5 good hits to get this to break free so that this will drop. Obviously, we didn't have that issue. This was already broken loose. So hopefully you guys can see. So this is your boot, and you're going to have to pull this off. Now mine's busted. Don't worry about that. We'll replace that later. These boots a lot of times will come off. You can just pull them. They're a little tight sometimes, but this is your vent tube right here. So just leave it where it is. Don't mess with that. What you want to do here is take this clamp off, and the clamp is broken. So I don't know what we're going to do here. We just have to pull it off somehow. Alright. So what you want to do is slide your boot down like this, and you're going to expose this big nut up here. Now, the best thing to do is get a big crescent wrench like this and just push. They usually come off pretty easily. You know, the reason why I want to show you this technique is I've used the tool before that they recommend. It's very cumbersome, to say the least. I mean, a lot of stuff's in your way trying to use that. You can just use a good old crescent wrench. Even if it has the shear tabs in it, you can just go ahead and pull pretty hard on it and it'll break those off. So no issue there. Okay guys, let's go ahead, go up top and check this out. There are a couple different ways of measuring these out. You can count the threads as you back this off, or you can do it this way. Go ahead, get your new inner and outer tie rod. Now at this point you don't have to put the lock nut on, this nut right here. You don't have to put that on for what we're going to do. All we're going to do at this point is match these up. So a lot of times you can look inside right here and get a good visual of where the shaft comes out on the inside, how far it comes up, and you can, you know, it's kind of guess right here, but this is easy. We can just match everything up, and I'll show you guys how I do that in just a second. Now you will have to take this back apart doing it this way, but it's the best way to get this thing precise. Counting threads, for me, I don't know guys, it just doesn't work, so I don't like it as much. So all you gotta do is stand these up. I'm gonna go ahead, adjust this out to match this, and we'll pick back up. All right guys, we've got everything matched up pretty close here, so we're gonna call that good. Now what I do on this is I take note of the threads, so you can see on the inside that the bolt is literally like one thread past this. So at this point I can go ahead and disassemble this one. So I'm going to use a vise. You know, maybe you guys, you know, want to leave it on the car to disassemble it, but for me, I'm just going to use a vise. Or you could use vice grips, hold this side and break this side loose. But like I said, I'm going to go ahead, take this apart, take the boot off, and put it back on this. All right, we have it reassembled. So as you can see, the first thing you want to do is slide your boot on first, and then put your jam nut on. And put your jam nut on here, and then run this down. And as you can see, that is almost the exact same spot that it was before. And that's just the way I like to do it, because I feel like that's a better representation of, you know, the length of the stock tie rod. So that's the way I like to do it. You can do it any way you'd like. And from here, all we're going to do is just slide the boot down to expose the top nut here. And we're going to go ahead, get this thing put on the car. Guys, all we're going to do is throw this up here, get it spinning like that. And once it bottoms out, you are good to go. So now what we're going to do is, because these holes right here are a little small, what we're going to do is just pick one of these holes, drill it out ever so slightly. The crush pin that goes in there a lot of times doesn't want to fit too good, so that's all it is. Alright, now all you want to do is slide your boot back, put your vent tube in the hole. There's a little hole up here. Make sure the vent tube goes in that. That's that, guys. On to this. So at this point, you just want to put your new castle nut on. That is what will pull this up. All you want to do is go till it stops, and then line the holes up on the castle nut so that you can put your cotter pin in. Bend it around. And that's it, guys. We are done. Don't forget your little grease fitting here. So that goes in the bottom. And the reason why you don't want to put that in first is just in case you do need to hit the bottom of it, you don't mash this up in the bottom. So, well, that is it. Not much to the inner and outer tie rod fix. So I want to go ahead, drive the car down the road. I'll come back, tell you guys how it did. Well, the car drove pretty good, actually. Believe it or not, even with the ball joints worn out, the car drives so much better. We got the caster camber plates on it now, and we have the inner and outer tie rods, and the car just does so much better. The thing tracks pretty straight. Now, obviously, it has to have an alignment, and it has to have some new ball joints, but you know, you can tell that the wheels sit pretty good. The caster camber is all right, and the wheels are not loose anymore. Also, you may be noticing that the hood looks a little different. Well, I went ahead and sprayed the hood again. I didn't bother to video it because you've seen it a million times, but we have an issue. This thing turned out like crap, just like it did before. As you can see, we have a light spot right up here. It just didn't lay good, guys. It didn't turn out the best in the world, so you know, here we are with this, but that's no issue. So I've talked with Papa T about it, and he knows I've got a lot on my plate, so he's going to come by tomorrow, pick the hood up on the car, take the paint, take the clear coat to his house, and he's going to reshoot this thing for me. I'm just having an issue with my gun, I guess. Now, I took my gun apart today, cleaned it all up, and hopefully that'll fix the problem, because the hood did great except for in one spot. I actually hung it up this time, and it seemed to do a lot better. I don't know if you guys can see it, if it's showing up or not, but there's some pretty bad spots right here, but other than that, front side of the hood looks great. Obviously, I'm not even going to bother to wet sand and buff the hood, so you know, we'll get it resprayed. But I will tell you one thing, though, about this, and I know we're like changing subjects, but this color matches really good. I mean, you can see it right here. It matches really good. But so I want to share like a quick little story with you. Years ago, I had an SN95. I took it to go get the front end lined up, and they said that I needed inner and outer tie rods before they felt comfortable trying to, you know, set the caster camber on it. They said, well, we can replace it for you. I'm like, oh, here we go. Guess how much they wanted to line the car up, replace the inner and outer tie rods, all that. Over $700 is what they wanted to do inner and outer tie rods and set the caster camber on the car. Guys, that is ridiculous. Now look, you saw how easy this job is. I promise you, you can do this on jack stands in your driveway. It's not a hard job. So please, if you need these done, you can go pick them up. I mean, I think the inners are like $20, $30 a piece, and the outers are about the same, something like that. I can't remember. But for basically $100, you can do this yourself. Now, ball joints are a little different. They're about as bad as run channel molding. I hate run channel molding. Any of you guys that know me know I hate that. But ball joints can be aggravating. If you stayed this long for the video, I guess what I'll do is go ahead and let you guys know the car is running good. Now, I know a lot of you were saying that you have the same problem and you really want to know what the fix was as far as the skipping and the popping and the misfire and all that, right? I promise you, next video, we will cover what the fix was. And I'm telling you guys, you're going to be surprised just how simple of a fix it was. And it's probably going to cost you nothing. So stay tuned to the next video, and I'll let you guys know how we got this car running good. I'm telling you, it's coming along nice, guys. It is coming along very, very nicely. All right, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. I'll catch you guys in the next one with the fix for the Calypso clone, and hopefully we'll have this hideous hood resprayed and fixed. And as always, thanks for watching.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.